Beauties, beauties, beauties! Today we are going to do something different. I have shopped Miss A and we're going to reveal what I purchased. If that sounds interesting, let's jump into the video. But don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. Let's go. As you heard in the intro, I shopped Miss A and I'm gonna tell you all what I purchased. First of all is that I heard in another influencer's channel about this thing and I heard that it's actually unique to Texas and I did not know that. And then I was like, oh, I wonder how far I need to go to find one. And it turned out there is one like 4 miles from my house. So I was like, you know what? Let's just go see what's up. And I did purchase quite a few things. I bought $25 worth of stuff, which, you know, for a store where most things are $1, that's quite a few things. So let's take a look. The first thing that I bought is this thing. Beauties, you all know how badly I need magnetic palettes. Yep, this is a magnetic palette, and I actually bought quite a few single shadows from Miss A, and I'm going to show you all those. Maybe I'll do an eye look with them in a few minutes, perhaps not over the eye look that I'm wearing. Also, beauties, if you're wondering, I made this eye look with Warriors Wear Pink from Gourmand Girls. If it's not already up my channel, it's going to come. And I will tag the video where I do this eye look in the description box below as soon as it's available. Excited to have this palette because I'm always in the market for magnetic shadows. And as I mentioned, I've also purchased quite a few of these. Yeah, I did buy quite a few of these. And I'm going to use them in a few minutes to do an eye look. But the other things that I bought is that I bought these 3 brushes. And these brushes were exactly $1 each. Do they say what kind of brushes they are? They do not. And of course, I wash my brushes before using them. I'm not going to put something that came out of a factory, I don't know where, and what kind of contaminant it might have on my eyes, which is why I'm not going to use them right now. But I want to quickly show you the brush heads. Now these are not blending brushes. I figured I can use the small one for inner corner sort of activity, maybe even for putting, I don't know, concealer on the eye for a cut crease. Similarly with this one, maybe putting shimmer either in the inner corner or across the lid. For this one, I thought I can use it for my lower lash line or cut crease and things like that. And then I bought this is from their Venetian Romance collection. This is a creamy eyeshadow. Of course, I don't really wear creamy eyeshadows because I have hooded eyes and they usually crease on me. But you know what? Maybe I should try and see if they still do. Maybe I can use a tacky base or something and maybe these don't. I'm going to open this in a minute and show you a swatch of it, but it's a pink color and I thought I could be able to use it as sort of a mix of highlighter and blush. I thought this sort of a cool tone pink color should look good on me. And then I also, from the same collection, purchased this cream blush in the color Duchess. This is sort of a more mauve-y color and it should go better with the types of things the types of looks that I do. Let me quickly tell you the prices. The most expensive thing that I purchased was this beauty, which went for $7. Now I found the outer packaging super cute. They also had other designs, but I found this the cutest, which is why I purchased it. $7 for, I think this could hold, I don't know, 20 shades, and I think that's a great price. And then the next thing that I purchased that was expensive, well, actually the next 2 things were these 2, which were each $1.88. And then other than that, everything else was just $1. Of course, they had other things that were more than $1, like they had brushes, other brushes, or brush sets that you could purchase. Obviously, the brush sets wouldn't be $1 for the whole set, but I wanted to pick specific brushes as I mentioned. So this is my very, very first experience with Miss A. Okay, beauties, the next thing that I purchased, this is the last thing that I purchased, is this. This is supposed to be a neon gel liner. I believe this was also $1. And you all know I rarely use eyeliners, but hey, I have recently purchased a lot of brush sets that came with eyeliner brushes, and I figured, you know what, I should just buy one of these and test it. And it comes in a blue color. I figured this is something that I will use. They also had, I believe, yellow color, and I thought I already have a lot of yellow eyeliners that I already do not use, beauties. These are at least 3 of the ones that are within my reach. And when we're talking about neon liners, there is also this one that I purchased from JD Glow Beauties. That's why I thought blue might be a color that I'm more likely to use. Also, I do a lot of eye looks that blue would go with. I put the single shadows in this beautiful magnetic palette. So we're gonna do an eye look right now. I'm not gonna use the brushes because I still need to wash them, but I'm going to use them in future videos, and when I do, I'll call out that I'm using Miss A brushes so that we can assess how they perform. Regardless, the ones that I purchased are not really good for, you know, I feel like those would be very good for like multichromes or super shimmery kind of shades, and you know, the types of shades that I found at the Miss A store were mostly mattes and then very, very basic shimmers. I also was not expecting anything else. I mean, it's just $1, right? I was not expecting some earth-shattering color, but let's get started. I'm gonna start with Michaela. This is brush number 1 from part 2 collection. I'm not gonna try to do something funky. Let's just go into this color. Actually, I need to tell you the color's name, so hold on. This is Prim. I'm just putting this color in my crease. So the location where I went did not have a super gigantic single shadow collection. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more than one Miss A location in the Austin area. I just have to figure out where the other ones are. They're probably not that close to me. I mean, not 5 miles, they might be like 12 miles. So I just have to figure out when I can go, if I want to just go check another one out and so on. But I tried to pick, you know, a handful of shades that had a variety, but there were mostly neutral colors that they had. Now it could also be that the fun colors were sold out, you know. Let's go into this red color. I'm kind of curious about these. I'm just wondering how these colorful shade will behave on my eyes. Not bad, not bad. I'm just gonna do this almost across the lid, so it's kind of powdery. Okay, but the pigmentation is not bad. I'm thinking you all can see this. I am getting a little bit of fall off, but you know, for $1, this is nice. Honestly, I recently did a Revolution beauty review with Revolution and Finding Nemo. I reviewed the 2 small palettes in that collection, and I kind of feel like this palette, this color is even more pigmented than those, you know? I'm gonna do 2 different looks on each eye just for us to test. Let's take this same color under my lower lash line. I'm just gonna use the same brush. I'm gonna pick a smaller brush. This is E19 from ColourPop. And I'm gonna go into this brown color. Let me tell you all what colors these are. So the red one was Play, and the brown one is, they also had a more warm toned brown. I think this is the more cool toned brown. This is XD. And I'm just sort of deepening it out. Okay, I'm getting a lot of kick up with this brown, but that's okay. Okay, looking up and then putting it under my lower lash line. I'm gonna use the red again and just blend this part. Okay, let's use a little bit of NYX's glitter primer, and I'm putting this here. And I'm going to go in this sort of a taupey color. This is called Saint. It's a pretty nice shimmer, but it's not necessarily the most creamy shimmer I've used. And I'm going to put it here. Not bad. I'm liking this. I'm going to pick the red one again and just blend this edge. I'm going to pick a tiny brush. This is ColourPop L1. And I'm going to go back into the same taupe color and I'm going to do the inner corner with this. I'm just going to bring it under a little bit. One thing that could have been better was for the brown to be a little more pigmented. Now, you know, if you're a very light featured human being, this might look fine on you, but you know, in contrast with the color of my hair, this brown is just not even showing up. I think for what, $3? I mean, I used 3 shades, $1 each. Of course, that is assuming I inherited the brushes or I had a brush or I had brushes from before. You know, the eye look costs just $3. That's not bad. Let's now go into this look. I'm going to use this beautiful green just because I want to use all the colors that I bought to see how the pigmentation works. I'm picking up this brush. This is from Morphe and Nyan. This is FF1 and the name of the color is DTE. And I'm gonna just use this color like this. This is pretty good pigmentation, beauties, for $1. Like, this is better than that Revolution Beauty. I can't really say I'm surprised. Can you see the gust of air going everywhere when I'm moving my brush? That literally shows that this pigment is very dry, so it lacks stickiness. But that's fine. It doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to get enough payoff from it. I'm going to pick this brush. This is the BH. I'm just blending this edge. Not bad. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned, I had primed my eyes with Painterly before I got started, so I do have primer on my eyes. Let's put, what did I do with the glitter primer? Let's put a little bit of NYX here. And I'm going to go into this blue color Veda. Let's take a look at it. A very nice, you know, it even has a hue of purple. I'm impressed. You know, beauties, this is for $1. And I'm just putting this in here. I'm just thinking about what, like 10, 15 years ago, you would have been lucky to find eyeshadows that looked blue and actually gave you blue. If you are an eyeshadow lover in this day and age, I envy you. Because I feel like majority of my growing up years, I was looking for good eyeshadows that had correct payoff. And a lot of people here might not remember the days, but Urban Decay was revolutionary because it was one of those brands that would give you neon colors, very colorful shadows, and it was so different. I remember, you know, back then an eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay was like $20, and I thought, oh my goodness, that's so expensive. I can't afford $20. Those were the days, beauties. I can't lie, I'm liking this. Let's do the lower lash with this pink brush. Again, with the same green color on it. As I said, I can even argue a little bit of duochrominess on this shade. I see a little bit of hue of purple. It's a beautiful color, beauties. I'm gonna now pick a small brush. This one is from Dragon Fruit Collection of Cleona. This is the small one. Brush number 4, and I'm going to go into this yellow color, Bunny. This is a very nice yellow shimmer. Let's see how the payoff of this one works. Of course, beauties, this is going to go in my inner corner. I'm liking this. Can you see that? I'm liking this. I'm bringing it into the blue. Of course, shimmer and shimmer don't really mix like that, so you're not gonna necessarily get green by mixing the blue and the yellow. I like the pigmentation. Beauties, I very much enjoyed these. For the price, I found these pretty pigmented, very nice. I already mentioned this, but just recapping that the shimmers aren't the same creamy level you might see in certain brands like, I mean, forget about multichromes. We're not even talking about any comparisons with like Cleonas of the world or high-end multichromes of the world. But even in comparison to shimmers or duochrome shimmers you might see in everyday palettes like from Glamlight or from BH Cosmetics, it's in comparison to those, the shimmers are a tad bit dry. Does that matter for a $1 shade? Not really, because the payoff is pretty nice. I mean, I would totally wear this and go out. Now, the thing is, I do have extremely high-end makeup, so the chance of me reaching for $1 single pans is lower. But I have gotten very much into building my own palettes, and I like the fact that I can now use some of these shades in that. Particularly that, for example, I found this yellow shade pretty unique. I even found the blue shade kind of unique. I also like the brick red color. So I'm looking forward to using this more often, maybe in some of the custom palettes that I make. Let me know if you all have used this brand, what your experience has been, or what you're excited about in general, if you ever had a chance to go to a Miss A store. Now let's open these babies. So this, as I said, is supposed to be an eyeshadow, but I'm gonna sort of try to use it like a super shock. This is from their Venetian Romance collection, and the color is Jewels. Yeah, so it totally feels like a super shock shade. I'm just showing you the color and the shimmeriness. I'm going to quickly use this on my face. So I usually just use super shock colors on my face. So there's a tiny bit of glitteriness in this shade. I usually either dab them, and I have used sponge with them. By the way, beauties, a lot of people tell me Miss A has amazing sponges and they had a lot of different kinds of sponges. I rarely use sponges because I rarely put any makeup on my face other than these kinds of things, and I apply them a lot with my fingers. But maybe I'll buy sponges next time and I can apply these with sponges. But generally, this is how I apply these. The Super Shock Cheek, and I love the Super Shock blushes as well as highlighters. And this is how I apply them. I don't know what's going to be showing on camera, but this is actually more than I would wear. And it's giving me a little bit of a, I want to say a Y2K kind of a vibe. It looks a little bit like robotic, you know. It's a little bit more frosty than I was going for, and it has tiny glitters in it. Now, is it something I'm never going to use? No. When I do this, of course, the light's on it, so I have to wear it outside and maybe report back whether this actually looks normal. It doesn't look so bad. The color reminds me of one of the Super Shock blushes that I got in the Disney collection, in the first Disney collection. This one, beauties, this is Part of Your World, or Part of Your World, from the designer collection, the Disney designer collection from a few years ago. I was gonna say Disney collection, but ColourPop has done 200 Disney collection collabs, so it's difficult to just say which one. And I love, have loved over the years using this, and I continue using it. It looks very nice on me. It gives a kind of a very mild sheen to the face. It gives a very nice, like satiny, I want to say, light pink shimmer to my face. And I thought this could kind of substitute the same color, but this is a little more frosty pink than this one. This could pass a little bit more for a blush than this does, if that makes any sense. Let me compare these to each other. Yeah, this is a little bit more taupey, and that one is too pink. So this is the one from Miss A and this is Disney. Can you see? So Disney is a lot more taupe. Miss A also has tiny glitters in it, whereas as I described Disney's, I said satiny, and the reason I said that, I meant, you know, you're not going to see glitters. It just looks very uniform colored. Now the thing is, the beauties, this is supposed to be an eyeshadow. So the other colors that they had were not something you can put on your face. But maybe they have the same kind of formulation for a blush as well, because why not? I would totally wear this as a blush. I mean, I am wearing this as a blush. This is starting to grow on me. I'm starting to like it. It's a little frosty, but not enough for it to be offensively frosty, you know, not enough for it to look alien-like, if that makes sense. I'm gonna open this one. This is also from the same collection, the Venetian Romance. When you do this, why don't you put a tab so that I can just lift it? This is bad user experience. Bad user experience with these nails. How am I going to open this with these nails? Okay, I finally managed to open it and damaged a little bit of the color inside. Oh, it has a very nice smell to it. This is the color. I'm liking the color. Now, let's see. And I'm sure you can use a sponge for faster or easier application. I'm just diffusing it with my finger, but maybe I applied too much, you know. I'm liking this color. I think this is a very nice color, and it kind of goes, you know, pink colors or colors that have a base of pink or a cool base go with me. And this is, as I said, a mauve, and it looks nice. I would totally wear this lip color, beauties. Can I wear this on my lips? I would totally wear this on my lips. It kind of smells like perfume, which is why I wouldn't put this on my lips. Now, I do have to say, I have extremely sensitive skin. I do get rosacea very frequently if I use makeup that has fragrance, which is part of the reason why even some of, what is it, Fourth Ray highlighters and things like that, some of them have a fragrance and I can't use them. As soon as I use them, my face flares up. So I have to see if this is going to give me a reaction. I'm happy with that. Let's quickly test this one too now that we are doing this. Okay, so this one also has, okay, so this one came off very easily. Let's quickly test this. And beauties, this is a Gloss God. This is from their latest collection, the Sky 2 collection. This is one of the brushes. So I'm just going to quickly test this on my hand just to see how it goes. Let me do another layer. It's a beautiful color. And I could see myself wear, with that kind of a makeup, wear a liner that goes like a blue liner. So I like the color. I liked the color, which is why I purchased it. Okay, beauties, I let a few minutes pass and this looks pretty fine. I mean, I don't see any major concerns with it. You know, if I'm rubbing it, as you saw, it's not really budging. Now, if you have oily lids, I can't confirm that this isn't going to move at all over the course of a long period of time, but generally it looks fine. Anyway, beauties, that's everything. I think I tested everything I purchased other than these brushes. I need to wash them. I'm going to use these brushes, as I mentioned, in future videos. I think of everything I purchased, this blush is probably the one I'm going to reach to the least, just because it's a little glittery. I don't know how much I'm going to use something like that going out, but the concept is nice. If they come out with this, or if they already have this as blushes, I'm gonna go on their website and figure out, and if they do, I would definitely pick them up. As I said, the store didn't have that. The store only had eyeshadows. Realistically, because I have a lot of shadows, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna reach to these and use them, but objectively speaking, some of the pans are worth more than $1. Definitely the yellow one, definitely the blue one. I think the most disappointing one for me was probably the brown one, and I'm not even that disappointed with that. I did put it over another color, and that itself kind of removes the stickiness of the shadow. And then this blush I like, as long as it's not going to give me a reaction. And I don't know, we have to wait around with it on my face and see. And this one I like, I just don't know if I'll use. Because, not because it's bad, but because I rarely use eye pencils. But you know what? Maybe this incentivizes me to use them more often. Definitely worth $1.